Hey, Mr. Stan 1913 here. We're still in Wellsboro, PA, and we're taking an old time wagon tour, a 2-hour wagon tour through the mountains in Wellsboro. And there's our wagons, what they look like. And look at the mountains here in Pennsylvania. This is the Ole Covered Wagon Tours. Our tour is at 10:30. We actually booked it yesterday. This was from downtown Wellsboro. This was probably a 10 to 20 minute ride. And this is absolutely beautiful. So why don't you come along with us on this tour today? We hope you enjoy it. And there he is. There he is. Bigfoot in this area. We're just waiting for our time, and then we'll be boarding the wagon. Again, there's what they look like. And there's some fun stuff for kids here and adults. It's the old store. You can buy some merchandise here.
All that
some
stuff embedded
shirts.
is a Pennsylvania historical market now.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's a shopping center now. Has been for 20 years at least. And as a matter of fact, when we moved up there in '88, the track was already done.
Hello there.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Nice, good, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. No. When they get on there, they don't move. Like, you want me to do one? Just push it over. Just kind of look at it. Maybe even step a little harder.
17 hands tall.
Just look at the expensive hardware. It's what they want. Lots of hardware.
Oh, he's ready.
Well, if you folks will come right around right here. We've got some really nice weather here, but unfortunately, we could use a little rain. We're going to head down the old dusty trail here today. Give you a little heads up. The old dusty trail. I want to thank you all for coming to Ole Covered Wagon Tours here today. My name is Jim. I'm going to be the guide on our little trip here today. Our driver, her name is Shannon. Everybody say hi, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon. Keep your eyes on the road.
Oh, we got 4 of them up here on the road, buddy. We got backup and backup on top of that. Yeah. And as you're looking from the back here, we have up front what we call a Belgian horse. And if you didn't hear me earlier, the guy on the left here, his name is Ike, and the guy on the right, his name is Doug. So Ike and Doug are going to take you down in the canyon.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh.
Little suspense.
So it is very nice to go there. Little creek we went over back there, that is called Marsh Creek. Technically, we're not in the Grand Canyon up yet. We do have a little farther to go before we enter what we consider to be called the Grand Canyon of PA. That trail right there is what we call the Pennsylvania Rails to Trails. Our trail is going to originate up in Wellsboro, in an area up there they call the Junction. Folks, it leaves from that area, it's going to run a total of 62 miles. Mainly down through what we call the Grand Canyon of PA. It's going to come out and live down here in Pennsylvania called Jersey Shore. Little town here in PA called Jersey Shore. Anybody bust your babies who knows.
What is going on?
Folks,
Look at
you'll
that.
see that we are approaching the end of Marsh Creek right here. We're joining another body of water right there. Folks, that body of water there is what you call Pine Creek.
Okay.
So, technically, at this area right here, we are entering the Grand Canyon of PA.
Okay.
This is going to be the head of the canyon or the mouth of the canyon. Here's
Oh,
there.
yeah, I stand. Oh,
Yes.
They're a
Oh, yeah.
variety of carp.
No, they're not koi. They are a palomino trout, or what they call a golden trout. Yeah.
Oh, really? Look
But
how
I kind of took it for granted. I first came down in with my grandsons. There was a couple of them there. They said, "Grandpa, what is that pterodactyl doing in the creek?" So now we call him a pterodactyl.
Jim?
He is actually responsible for a lot of the stuff that we have in our area. But all three of them guys have been on our creek here fishing at one time or another. Yeah. No worms, no minnows, no
Trouble
live
came
bait.
up here.
It's called Darling Run. It is an access area for you to get down onto our trail here if you'd like to do a little hiking or biking on the trail. It's going to be one of the more popular access points for the entire 62-mile trail.
Yeah.
That is the last set of tracks right there they took out of the canyon.
Yeah.
They didn't leave them here for a souvenir. I want you to think about this one. Someday, somebody's going to walk down in here and go, "What are those things?" It ain't going to happen. Maybe not on this wagon, but it's going to happen.
beautiful.
Good for Civilian Conservation Corps. It was a program started by our government back during the Depression time. The economy was very bad. People were having a very hard time making a go of it. So the government started that program up to help everybody. And it did its job. It saved a lot of people and a lot of families back then. Our little camp here was called Darling Run. And it ran from 1935 until 1941. Folks, one of the requirements to be part of them camps back then, they were run like a military base.
Yeah, right.
You had to go through basic training to be part of it. So when World War II broke out, any of the gentlemen who were in these camps, all throughout our country, we had at least one camp in every state of our country, they were automatically drafted into the service. And
Jim, how did those vehicles get over there?
there's a road over there.
Okay.
You see the look behind us there.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah.
see the road coming down.
Okay.
That road on the other side is what they call the Awasi Road.
Oh, okay.
It is an access road to get down into the canyon here, mainly to the cabins that are up ahead of us.
Oh, okay.
It is a public road. You'll see vehicles there. They're down in here fishing right now. So you can't go. They got to park back up at Darling Run. Then they would have to hike or bike down into this area to get onto the creek. So it does get used an awful lot.
Where's the access point to
When
that
you go
road?
up into Colton Point, you overlook on the west side. You will leave Route 6 over there by the burning barrel.
Right.
That would be the Colton Point Road. You're going to go up in about a mile. The road will make a little switchback like, and there is a dirt road going off to the left there. Go to that area.
You got a merman down there.
A merman?
A merman.
Yep.
He's a
Get a
merman.
picture of that. And there's another goldfish in the creek here too.
Is he going after it? Yep.
That is the elusive Pennsylvania fisherman. You don't see very many of them. You better get a picture of them. Very elusive.
I wonder if he sees that. Oh, cool. Little trailer. Yeah.
Folks, as I said, it took them a little over 3 years to plant all them trees around here. But it didn't turn out well back then.
In the
Now it's just
smell.
one. We had numerous ones in the area.
Somebody's house.
Oh
over there.
yeah, lots of tanneries in the area.
And the
But that'll give you an
steak.
idea how big Canaan was back then. Folks, this whole area here where we're at,
It was pretty.
it's called Muskrat Eddy. if you look on the other side of Muskrat Eddy there, you're going to see a nice little cabin sitting over there.
Indeed.
Folks, that cabin on the other side is on private property, but it is regulated quite a bit by the state. They have to use a neutral color down in here. So that means they got to use a brown, a tan, a green, a black, something of that nature there. The little cabin has to blend in this area as best it can. Also, folks, if you look to the right of the cabin up in there a little ways, you're going to see a little building sitting there. Most of the cabins do have running water to them. Folks, when they were built in the early 1900s, the guys looked for a water source built by. So if you are lucky enough to have a spring close by where your cabin is, you can pipe the water in from that spring. But if not, folks, you're going to have to bring your water in with you. No digging in the canyon. It is a very good thing. We need somewhere for these two right here to come back 50 years from now and enjoy the same thing we are here today. So folks, it's a very, very good idea. You got fishermen all over the place. Oh yeah. Olivia, what part of the horses can you see? The back end of them, huh? Ah, yeah. He's on poop duty. I've been called horses before, so maybe I'm taking a selfie.
So they're turning the wagon around now, and we're going to head back the same way. We got to watch out for bikers. I don't have the microphone on, so you probably hear the breeze.
If you look at the top of the hill right here, a little bit back behind us,
We're inside
you'll
the
see
canyon.
a rock outcropping up there. That rock outcropping is what we call Barber Rock. B-A-R-B-O-U-R. It is an overlook area for you to walk out into and look down into the canyon here. When you work your way up into Colton Point, the overlook on the west side, right around the bend here, you'll go by a little parking area, a little pavilion. You'll park there. Come across the Colton Point Road, you'll see a double gate there and a sign that says Barber Rock. Folks, watch the bikes coming. She's all right. Stay right there, Mom. Yep, you're fine. Just make a lane for them. That'll work. There was a gentleman stationed up there back in the day. His name was Samuel Barber. And back then he was what they called a wood pick. His job would have been to keep the logs flowing on our creek here. Folks, if they would gee him up, Samuel would climb down off from there, come down onto the creek here, get the logs flowing again, then here's the good part. They would hike all the way back to the top.
God.
Oh yeah, he had a real good job. They came out the next day, they found him a couple miles down the creek here. He had lost his life doing that job. But in honor of him, we call that area up there Barber Rock. B-A-R-B-O-U-R. Now folks, if you will get your little groups together, just a minute, yep, just a minute, young lady. Get your little, well better yet, just get your group together. Yep, it was all clear cut down here, no vegetation growing on that side of the hills. There's a very bad erosion problem going on. So with that root system, they brought it in thinking it might help with the erosion problem. Katie was all right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
So that was the ride on the Ole Covered Wagon Tour. It was exactly 2 hours. It was a great ride. I highly recommend it. Just right outside the downtown area of Wellsboro, PA. This is just a little breezy right now. You're probably picking up the breeze, but this is absolutely beautiful. And if this is your first time watching, welcome. And please don't forget to subscribe. If you'd like to receive future notifications, hit the bell. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. This is Mr. Stan 913. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you again soon.